Hey guys, Theron Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we're talking to Luke Nichols. He is another winner from the 2022 season. Luke just got done winning the Shenandoah Division BFL tournament on Smith Mountain Lake. So very excited to talk to another winner. He's going to give us a lot of great insight to his tournament this past weekend and how he was able to take home the victory. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is very excited to announce we are doing a $2,500 giveaway. Real quick, I'm going to upload a QR code. Take your phone and scan this code. This puts you into that $2,500 giveaway. That QR code is coming to you right now. Okay, thank you for scanning that code. Again, that's for a $2,500 giveaway provided by Revital Outdoors. We will be selecting a lucky winner at the end of the BFL season, so very excited for that. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And as always, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. That's Revital Outdoors. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there, whatever your ailments that are hindering you from being out in the water or in the field, whether it be back discomfort, knee issues, inflammation, trouble sleeping at night, whatever it may be. Our products are great for helping you with all those different things. They're THC-free and made right here in America. So check them out. You can purchase them directly off our website, www.revitaloutdoors.com. That being said, I'm very excited to talk to Mr. Luke Nichols tonight, the new champion for the Shenandoah Division, Smith Mountain Lake. We see the hardware in the background. How's it going this evening, bud?
It's going good.
Good deal. So, well, first and foremost, congratulations on your victory this past weekend. You've got a great history from Smith Mountain Lake. I think you won the tournament last year as well. So, man, tell us a little bit about Smith Mountain. It's a bucket list place of mine, but what's so special about it, and what makes you click so well on Smith Mountain?
Man, I grew up on Smith, born and raised there, lived there my whole life. Been very blessed to be able to spend a lot of time on that water. Know it like the back of my hand. It's just one of those places that I've spent a lot of time there in Bugs, but mainly Smith. Smith is it never ceases to amaze me. I've lived there my whole life. The lake changes almost yearly. The competition level there changes almost yearly. And man, it just keeps putting out mega sacks of fish. And, not just for myself, but for many other local anglers. I mean, it is very stiff local competition.
I got you. So, well, walk us through a little bit about this weekend. First of all, what were you able to kind of put together and piece together in practice? And then overall, what happened for you on Saturday?
So a few weeks ago, me and my wife, we fished Angler's Choice Tournament. And we had 19 pounds. And, man, we just really struggled in the morning. So when I went out this week in practice, I really wanted to try to figure out what I could do to get bit before 11. It's not really a secret. Everybody that knows me knows that I swim bait. It's just one of my favorite things to do. I've gotten good at it through the years. But, man, that bite really doesn't get good until a little later in the morning, towards the end of the day. And it can make it tough when you pull a big bag out in the last 3 or 4 hours of a tournament. There's a lot of pressure, So anything I've ever gotten before 11 o'clock, I felt like it's kind of a bonus, So I went out and I really put my, nose down and wanted to just try to key in on some early, pre-spawn techniques, trying to get something dialed in. It's been unusually cold this year. Really wanted to try to figure something out. And got on a little deal with the jig. These areas I caught these fish on a jig, those fish shouldn't be there right now. I mean, we should be looking at beds right now. And they're just not there. Not for me anyways. But the jig really paid off for me early. I hit a few key hard areas that, normally hold a fish in the winter, and I caught a 6-pounder right off the rip there that in the morning that really kind of set the tone for the day, and ran a handful of areas similar to what I caught that 6-pounder on, and cycled through about 3 or 4 areas, of course, jumping around some other boats. hitting similar areas in the morning as well, and was able to put another 4-pounder in the box. And that 10 pounds really made a huge difference. My non-boater, he actually put his first fish in the boat that morning too, running those same areas. So it yielded 3 bites, which was a lot better than what we had before 11 on the anglers tournament,
Right.
But that really set the tone for the day.
Okay. So picked up a few bonus fish in the morning. Were you still able to capitalize on that swim bait bite in the afternoon, or?
Yeah, so it was tough. I mean, I heard a lot of talk around the weigh-in there, that the guys really struggled with the swim bait. Brummett, who finished second, heck of an angler, got many, big accomplishments in his fishing career as well. He just couldn't get them to eat it, and that was the problem for me as well. I mean, I didn't get a lot of bites on it, truthfully, but it was the right bites. I had some key areas that I've found through the years that are not necessarily docks that hold big fish, and it's live scope related, it's shad related. Bluebacks to be exact, and was able to park on a few of these areas and really slow down and focus and make something happen.
Okay.
The 7-11 that came at the end of the day, that fish came off a dock about 2:00. And to be honest with you, I was just as surprised to catch the fish as I was at the size of the fish, because I had hit so many docks through the day with no reward that I was really wondering in my mind, I should just throw in the towel. I should give this up. Like, this is not going to happen today. I need to go back to the jig or go back to my live scope and really dig in and try to force something else to happen. And, man, God is good. That's all I can say. I mean, I just blessed. I've been doing this a long time, man. Been tournament fishing BFLs a long time. And if there's one thing I can say, I can't take full credit for what took place out there Saturday. It was just a blessing. How many people just pull up on a random dock and catch a 7-11? I mean, that's a once in a lifetime thing for a lot of weekend warriors, And
Right.
For me to do it on a Saturday and it to be a BFL and it just, I can't take claim to that. I wish I could say, oh, I'm the baddest angler that ever was, but I can't do that. I know
Right.
when it's some God type stuff going on,
Good for you, man. Good for you. So, well, throughout the day, let's see, you caught 5 keepers. Were you able to call at any point, or?
So I culled several times. I had a limit pretty quick on the jig.
Okay.
2 key fish, that went, actually 3 fish that went to the scale and 2 swim bait fish that went to the scale. But, I had a limit for probably, I'm going to say 17 and a half on the jig. And I ran around for about 2 hours. There was a lull, it seemed like, for me. Pulled into a pocket. There was some shad in a couple weeks ago, just a small pocket. I live scoped around. There's some stumps out in the back of this pocket, probably, I don't know, 8-10 feet deep, nothing really crazy deep. And I live scoped and I saw some shad movement. I'm like, man, there ought to be a fish on one of these docks in here. Wound up catching another 6-pounder off the front of a dock in that area. I'm not going to say the fish was on the dock, because there was a lot of structure in the water that I catch fish on in there. The dock just happened to be where it was. But, that 6-pounder put me at that, 20 and a half range. And to be honest with you, I told my non-boater, I'm like, man, I know Brummett's out here. I know Rick Tilley. I got Ben Hudson, who's an absolute hammer with a jig. I mean, this dude is a hammer, and everybody knows it. Him and his dad are just stand-up guys, man. Just technical. they're very efficient and very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. Yeah. I mean, these guys it's like they get out of bed with 20 pounds. I got Chad Green down here. He's a local guide. Runs a great guide service, by the way. I've thought many times of calling him and taking a trip myself if he'd take me. But anyways, these guys, they're good at what they do,
Mm-hmm.
and, I don't know. For me to be able to go out on my home water, which I think is one of the hardest bodies of water you can win on. Growing up on a body of water, everything. You know every stump, every dock you ever caught a 5-pounder off of, or maybe this laydown's got another 5-pounder on it. It's like you want to run history. When you're competing against the level of competition that is on Smith Mountain Lake, you can't run history. You will get your butt spanked every time. You've got to dig in deeper than that. I'm not saying I caught a couple fish on community areas that get hit a lot. But if I'd have relied on history, I wouldn't have had 12 pounds in this tournament. I mean, it's just, you got to take every little clue and apply it in order to compete against these guys. I said it in my interview with MLF, when I was talking with those guys. I'm like, Smith Mountain Lake is putting out killer anglers. And I'm not talking about myself. This is not meant to sound arrogant in any way. I'm talking about the level of competition that you have to compete against. I mean, we got Chad and Elliot Pilson. They get out of bed with 20 pounds. I mean, and the list goes on. You got Scotty Howard and Charlie Davis, who are two killer anglers. They're a heck of a team. They show up more than they don't, I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, I could name 40 guys from Smith Mountain Lake that you don't want to have to compete against. And when there's that level of competition in your backyard, it forces you to fish better. And I honest to God believe the only reason that I ever pushed myself as an angler to the point that I did is because of the level of competition that I had to compete against. It was step your game up or don't pay your entry fee. I mean, that's pretty much the point that Smith Mountain's at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, a couple guys I forgot about, Justin Hicks and his dad. I mean, these guys had 23 and some change in Angler's Choice Tournament a couple weeks ago. They caught them in 3 hours. I mean, who catches 24 pounds in 3 hours?
Right.
I mean, I caught 24 pounds. Took me all day to do it, But that's what I'm saying. The level of competition, it forces you to be on your game. You got to be on your toes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
So, well, Luke, I know, again, congratulations on your win this last weekend. Obviously, that puts you in to go straight to the regional, a win you're in. So pressure's off now. You get to go to the regional. But I know you couldn't do it alone. I looking at your social media, I know you have a great support system. So any of your sponsors, family, friends, anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Oh God, just everybody. I guess the number one person. Well, I can't even say number one. My family, my immediate family, my father, Gary Nichols, my brother, Gary Nichols Jr. I mean, they were like my mentors, and I was very fortunate. I had several anglers growing up through the years that I was able to mentor under. Chris Dillo showed me, several things with the jig when I was very young. I actually made some jigs for Chris that I'm pretty sure he actually threw at the Classic when he was in the Classic that time. And, Chris Dillo, I mean, I thank him. I thank my, all my friends, Matt Powers and, Scotty Howard, all these guys that I've been fortunate. Ronnie Anderson through the years. Ronnie's an old name. Ronnie's looking to get back into tournament fish, and he reached out to me the other day, and it was like, God almighty, Ronnie's coming back. But, I mean, he's just one of those guys, he doesn't do anything halfway. When he gets into something, it's all or nothing. you know. But just that whole support network, I've been so blessed through the years, man. I've had some great mentors. I can't take credit, solely. I mean, did I take it and make it mine? Yeah. And I mean, I think every angler does that, but it starts with a seed. And I was fortunate to have a lot of guys plant a seed in me that I was able to run with. I want to thank the local tackle shops. And it's not just one. I think a world of Keith Allen, SML Tackle Shack. He's a great guy. My brother Gary actually helps him some through the week. Keith's just been a kind of a great asset to the lake area. He's a custom rod builder. He can build you anything you want. And, just got a great selection of tackle right there in Westlake at the old Food Line building there. We've got Steve Chris down in Lynchburg at WW Novelty. He's a heck of a good dude, man. Got a ton of tackle in there. Also, just another advocate for our sport in our area, and has taken anglers around him and pushed them forward. He helps these guys. Actually, Derek Hudson, who's on fishing, I think he's fishing the Toyota Series. Mm-hmm. Derek actually worked for Steve Chris at WW Novelty for years. I mean, that shows you right there the kind of support that these local guys give. You got Matt and Dan at Pro's Choice down in Lynchburg. Just killer guys, man. Just great guys. Got a killer selection of tackle. I mean, you got Dwayne Lamb down at Captain's Quarters. He's got a great selection of tackle in his shop as well. Man, these local guys, when you have an area that has as many competitive anglers as we have at Smith Mountain Lake, it takes more than one tackle shop to keep these guys, up to snuff, and our local tackle shops are just great, man. Keith's really been helping me out a lot down at Tackle Shack. Just a great guy, man. Slide in and check him out. He's a full stock and Garmin dealer. So's Matt and Dan and them down at Pro's Choice. They stock a lot of Garmin stuff. Check them out as well, definitely, if you're in that Lynchburg area. But most of all, I'm just grateful to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without his undeserved grace daily in our lives, we're not capable of doing great things. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel so blessed that he has given me the lifestyle that I get to live. I love to deer hunt. I love to turkey hunt. I love to fish, obviously, any kind of fishing, and I'm just so blessed that I was born into that lifestyle. I know so many people that wait too late in their lives to chase a dream, to chase a passion. Guys, get out here and get after it. As we've learned the last few years, life is short, man. Anything can happen. Man, don't procrastinate. If you want to learn how to swim bait on Smith Mountain Lake, I mean, I can tell you some tips, but just go do it. You'll figure it out. There's a ton of giants out there, And, I guess what I want to reiterate is, man, just have faith in God and just be grateful for every day you have. And don't waste a minute. Get out there and pursue your dreams. I've been chasing a BFL win for 20 years of my life. I fished my very first BFL when I was 17 years old. And, what's happened the last 2 years, it's just very humbling, because it's like, man, you have your up years, you have your down years. You feel like, it's never going to happen. And when you least expect it, bam, you get your first win and it catches you off guard. And now this, and then we're going into this weekend. We've got another BFL here locally. The Shenandoah division is this weekend. I apologize. The Piedmont was this past weekend.
Okay.
But man, talk about pressure going into the next tournament. Come off 24-pound sack Saturday, and now I got everybody saying, "You gonna do it again this Saturday?" And it's like, man, I'll pray for it, and I'll try to live my life right, But what do you say? just blessed to be able to even go.
Absolutely.
So, you
Absolutely.
know, I mean,
well, Luke, you give a great testimonial there, and faith is everything. You know, definitely at Revital Outdoors, we're a very faith-driven company as well. So I thank you for your testimonial there. And just to back up what Luke's saying, get out there and get fishing. Take your kids with you. I've always said that the more parents that introduce their kids to fishing, the more that they'll have probably never the ability to afford anything to get themselves in trouble. So
absolutely.
It's definitely a great thing to get out there. So, well, Luke, thank you again for joining us. Again, for all the listeners out there, you've been talking to Mr. Luke Nichols, the recent winner from the BFL Piedmont Division tournament this last weekend on Smith Mountain Lake. Again, as Luke just mentioned, the Shenandoah Division is there this coming weekend. So we want to wish Luke the best of luck again. Maybe he can back up and go back-to-back. We'll have him back on the podcast if he does. To all of us, from all of us at Revital Outdoors, God bless. Be safe out there, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. We'll talk to everyone very, very soon.